Welcome back, episode 87 of Revisited, and I think this is the first time we've talked about Man of Steel. Not the first time we talked about Snyder, of course. Mm-hmm. We are talking about Man of Steel, how to build the greatest DCEU movie. Film Perfection by, I hope the name is not Film Perfection. Filmento. Wow, that's some views. That's crazy.
Oh, I'm just now looking at that. Yeah. This is without a doubt the most boring superhero movie I've ever watched.
Can't say that. I think the first Suicide Squad was... No. Boring. Bats v Soups?
No. You at least got Batman doing Batman stuff. That was kind of interesting. You got Joker 84? Being annoying. That moves the needle. Not Joker. He wasn't Joker. Lex. Lex is moving the needle somewhere.
Jonah Hex?
Nope, that was just bad.
Van Forstig?
No, that was just bad. That's not boring.
Boring. You might be onto something there. Captain Marvel?
No, that's just bad. That's not boring.
Green Lantern?
No, that's not bad. That's just boring. I mean, that's not boring. That's just bad. You're talking about a bunch of bad stuff. You're not talking about boring stuff.
The issue was, I also wasn't entertained, which is what
But it's moving the needle.
Of what?
It's making me feel something. It's making me feel annoyed or anything. This is just like, make the world smaller, Clark. I can't. All these just... It's a bunch of speeches. Just people doing speeches at you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
I have to say, this movie was worse than I remembered.
Oh yeah, quite worse.
I always knew it wasn't very good. And yet, I watched it and I went, hey, maybe this is better than I thought.
You always think that. There's always a possibility.
I was mostly fine with the Krypton stuff, so I was like, hey, maybe
me.
But the second it started to he'll be a god to them, all that stuff, it all flew out the window after that. I was like, no, this is gonna be bad. And I have no doubt it's gonna be bad. And it was very bad.
Yeah, I think I really hated this. I think
you went from just kind of Man of Steel to wow, do I hate this?
Yeah, I think I really hate it. It's man.
No, man is the way to put it.
It's really bad.
And this is the launching point of your entire DCEU, and it's
this.
It's a bunch of imagery, and it's a bunch of good ideas thrown on a page with no rhyme or reason to connect them and make them good or entertaining. Just the fact that it's done is the good part.
Like Zod's message. It's like that. There's a good idea there. But he's broadcasting it in all these different languages, so we have to go, did he study all these languages and how to put them up? And is the telecast regional? And is he broadcasting it all at the same time? Or did he record all of these separate messages? Why is it all filtered and evil like that?
All staticky and...
What does it mean that you're not alone? Why do you need to say that?
Trailer.
That's what that is. And it's a good idea there of a menacing dictator-like dude just going, hey, people of Earth, give me that dude or else. But just you are not. And it's all staticky and stuff. Alone. And it's every single TV on the earth and all these different languages. Because that's another thing where I talked about with the Ed Shot thing of, Horikoshi thought about him needing to be sterilized, but didn't think about the fact that how did he keep that bubble for so long when he's a string man? Why would Wash give him a single bubble? Stuff like that. He thought about, the consequences. He needs to be sterilized, so let me give him this. Snyder thought of, all these TVs around the world, he can't just be speaking English, so we need to give him all different languages and not the consequences of, wait, what? First off, it's a widely accepted thing that aliens, they speak English. We're fine with that. Mm-hmm. But then once you start incorporating different languages, and then they show like Japanese, and they show the Japanese characters on screen, it's like, so does he have knowledge of that? Where is he getting this knowledge from? Or does he just beam it off to Earth and Earth just descrambles it?
Hey, where were they for 33 years?
They said that they were going from Krypton outpost to Krypton outpost, gathering equipment, mother boxes, world engines.
Engage the world engine.
And then that's when the beacon came on Earth, and they were just like,
You think your son is safe? Now, I have a big old speech impediment.
Blessings upon him.
It was distracting.
Yes. Blessings upon him. It's not great.
Much like this. With the TV thing, that's what I wanted to bring this up. I like how it exploded the electronics the second the message ended. Like, once you turn it off, is it just the influx of energy to everything?
Was that?
And old-timey TVs and HD TVs operate on different things. So, were you beaming it directly? Like, were you satelliting
Was it via cable? Was it?
It can't be, because you got those old-timey TVs. Yeah. Like, if you're on a ship and you see the message, there's no cables. It's got to be
any electronics that carries a screen.
It's got to be that he... I want to say like satellite.
Tune into frequencies of each and every TV on Earth.
I was thinking like it was a satellite just forcing it. But would that work for tablets, say? Because how many people use their cable at this point?
Yeah, what is he tuning into is what we need to figure out. If it's just
we don't need to figure it out because it's mostly just a nitpick.
No, it's not. No,
I wouldn't even say nitpick. It's more like a plot, not hole, but just like
it's a very stupid thing that happens that you're not supposed to think of. Just anybody that likes a movie, how did he do that? Why does it matter? Because he broadcasted to the entire Earth, including Clark. So he saw it. He knew that the people were coming. If Clark did not see that, he would not have that knowledge. So he had to broadcast it to everybody. He had to show everybody that they are not alone. There are aliens amongst us, which could lead to future things, which leads to Batman figuring out, hey, yo, aliens, and then getting all this stuff comes from that. I don't do it if there's going to be questions like this. Just a simple question of, how did he do that? And then the further question of, how did he do that for every language?
See, at least for the every language thing, you can go, there's a universal translator. It would have been nice if they said it, but they're going from alien outpost to alien outpost. I am not of the belief that they don't have some form of technology to help with the language barrier of whatever.
But they would have to program.
No. I am 100% with you. I'm just giving you a possibility that I would accept.
But that would also raise further questions, you see. That's what I'm just saying. The questions still arise from that.
Taking in information.
Yes.
And the ship's database built through it.
Simply. Just that. Or when he got on the ship, just show a bunch of TVs getting information in the background. Then you could be like, that's what's going on. Boom. Languages, different TVs, different speech patterns, all this stuff. Easy. Bam. But there's just those two big questions, and you just have to go, well, he just did. And he just every single language. Yeah, he just did. What of it? Aliens. Magic, technology. Who cares?
So I'm very interested to see what this person has to say of why it's the greatest. Well, the greatest DCEU movie. There's like 4 of them.
This was in 2021.
Yeah, it was right after Whoa because I saw the description, not the full description, but the beginning of Whoa 84 was the big poop. So, whoa, Jesus!
No, it's just somebody. It's just them
playing the game.
Whole full description for Man of Steel, Suicide Squad, and Birds of Prey in the description after they talked about it in the actual description.
God, stop playing the game.
Stop doing it. That's annoying. While Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut approaches and Wonder Woman 1984 being a ridiculous disaster, let's travel back to the origins of the DCEU film universe to see the movie that set the bar for it. 2013's Man of Steel. Whether Man of Steel is the best DCE movie so far is up to you. So what are you saying with this title if it's up to us? But it is a rare entry that functions completely. It functions completely. Fantastic. From beginning to end in both plot and characters. And also on the villain front with General Zod and Feora. What Man of Steel does, other entries should learn from. And so today, let's take a look at let's see what lessons the DCEU should take from Henry Cavill's Man of Steel movie, either in the Man of Steel 2 or either way. Hopefully less Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. Hopefully less Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey and Batman vs Superman from here on out, and rather something in between. It's a bit of a jumbled sentence, but whatever. Dude, no. What? Birds of Prey was better than this.
When was this released? You said 2001.
21. February 1st.
February. Okay. I believe that's before the Suicide Squad came out. Did the Suicide Squad come out last year or the year before?
Let's see.
I think it was 2021. And if that's the case, that's the best DCEU movie.
2021, and it came out in August.
Yeah, I knew the late year. I just didn't know what year it was because we were still quote unquote in a pandemic, so I didn't know.
I say Wonder Woman, the first one, was better than this.
Yes, absolutely.
Because this was, like
I'd say this is
boring and
at best top 3, but that's only because the other ones are so bad. And the only one really competing with it is maybe Snyder Cut. It wouldn't be Bats v Soups. It wouldn't be Suicide Squad. It wouldn't be 84.
We're fighting for the bottom at this point.
Absolutely. You've got the top 2 and then the rest.
I'm just looking at his channel.
Hey, maybe we can farm some content if this is any good.
You recognize that Wonder Woman 1984 is bad, but dude, this is good for what reason?
Let's find the reasons. Let's get into it. What was that face?
Aquaman, almost a failure.
I would say Aquaman was better than this.
Sure, but again, Batman vs Superman, a tragedy of opposition. What the f does that mean?
Oh, where's my phone? I need to start writing down the spoilers when we get to them.
The video's just over. We're done here.
I don't want to. All right, let's just get into this stupid thing. Okay. Video's over. What are we doing? What we got going on Saturday? What do we got going on next week? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this anymore.
As I was working on my last week's upload on Wonder Woman 1984, which wasn't too positive,
That just is trash.
It's just a trash. Yeah.
it made me think about the main weaknesses with the DCEU so far and how those weaknesses could potentially be fixed in the future. And what I quickly realized was that in order to ever find that fix for the future, we have to go all the way back to the beginning, to the one and only Man of Steel.
My autocorrect added an E at the end of Steel.
Now,
I wish he would have established what was the problems with the other movies that this one.
I mean, watch his videos to see what the problems with the other ones were.
I don't think that he's gonna talk about what the problems are in comparison to this.
No.
In those videos, because that seems kind of redundant.
No. I don't know if it's redundant as much as referential. And that would be good for someone that hasn't consumed 17 minutes of your other video.
is Man of Steel the greatest DCU movie made so far? Well, that's a question of just personal opinion, and so ultimately doesn't really matter. But what does matter about Man of Steel is that it very much holds the codex key for making the greatest, bestest new DCU movie. That codex key being purpose. See, one of the core
Has no movie from the DCEU... Oh yeah, Shazam was better than this.
Oh, yeah,
Has no movie from the DCEU had purpose.
If you have to look at it like that, then no, I can see where he goes. No other film has had the purpose that this has had, and therefore it has the codex for building the greatest blah blah blah. But you have to look at it through those lenses, not just about the characters and blah 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 blah, all the things that make a movie. No, what does it mean? It's the purpose. All this other crap. I'm not here for this. I'm not here for this meta crap.
What are you here for then?
I'm here for talking about the movie, not for what the movie represents.
issues with the DC film universe so far has always been the case of either or. Either the movies focus mainly on character and end up weak on plot.
Just saying, he's what? Charging people's phones? So what? I can charge a phone.
Or they focus mainly on plot and end.
What's the problem with focusing more on characters than the plot?
And what's the issue with Shazam's plot?
I guess we gotta watch that video to figure out what the problem is.
The plot of Suicide Squad was to put together a team to do a thing, and one of the team members went all oogie boogie crazy.
What's the problem with the plot of that movie? It's a pretty simple plot,
Yeah.
but is there any issues in it? I mean, he really said that it focused more on the characters and not the plot. He didn't say that there were issues with it. But is that a bad thing?
But what has a perfect balance of character and plot? Some things are going to play more heavily on characters, and it's going to be moments based on it, not so much the overarching thing of it.
Weak on character.
What, we some kind of...
No, okay, wait, what? Let me hear.
Movies focus mainly on character and end up weak on plot.
Weak on plot.
Weak on plot. Oh, never mind then.
A simple plot does not mean a weak plot. I wish I knew what you meant by a weak plot. And I'd have to watch his other videos to do so.
Just saying, he's what?
Focus mainly on plot and end up weak on character.
What, we some kind of Suicide Squad?
The last thing I would say is Bats v Soup is weak on character. The last thing I would say is Justice League is weak on character.
Especially
the last thing I would say
Justice League.
is Suicide Squad is weak on character.
And
the issue is it's not good characterization plus good plot.
I'm simply going, this scene does not speak to your... This is bad character. This is weak characterization or anything. It's a bad line.
It's a bad line. I can't say most of the characters in the first Suicide Squad are quote unquote bad.
Yeah,
They're just giving clunky dialogue most of the time.
And a couple of them are just there. Killer Croc is just there. Katana, even though she can cut anything.
But how is the plot strong? How are they focusing on the plot there?
Or they try to do both, but then ultimately crumble before the finish.
Will destroy
But for whatever
That was...
This is just a bad line.
reason, maybe because of Chris Nolan, Man of Steel is the anomaly. It successfully handles both plot
Maybe because of Chris Nolan. Who knows? This film auteur, Chris Nolan, just touches anything and turns it into gold. All that other stuff, was horribly balanced. But Nolan, no. Jesus Christ with this Nolan crap.
Nolan has done good work. He is not above reproach for his work, because he has done very bad work. Tenet is very bad work.
I'm just wondering, I'm just trying to see what he did for, what Nolan did for Man of Steel.
I believe he was a producer. I believe.
Story by.
Okay. He wrote the story.
And produced.
Yep. I remember the producer part.
And what does that mean? What did he do for the story exactly? What was his input? Just putting his name on here means essentially nothing for me. Because we got a screenplay by David S. Goyer, and then a story by David S. Goyer and Nolan.
So it sounds like he helped come up with the basic plot structures, and Goyer wrote everything.
Or
like
maybe
the Toriyama stuff.
We don't know if he was slid a finished story in front of if Nolan got a finished story in front of him, and then he just made alterations, and then he is automatically just like, there, story by.
and Man of Steel is the anomaly. It successfully handles both plot and character work in a way that properly functions from beginning to end. It might not be the only entry to do that, but it is an entry that does that. Even though it is totally valid to say...
Hey, just a noise and not the... You can't just make a noise and go, yes, that was an issue. But yes, that was an issue.
Aquaman does it too, but this does it too.
Again, what do you mean by this? Hopefully he explains it to
I'm
us.
sick of this wait and see attitude of maybe we'll figure out what he means.
You honestly believe that maybe the kid should die speech was hitting?
He must if he's...
The "you are my son" is hitting. Beyond that, no.
Here as well, that same division exists because the first half is mostly character and the second half is mostly plot. The film still manages to blend those halves enough to avoid the sense of vanity that so often plagues big parts of other entries. Even when scenes are lacking
What big part? What do you mean?
I really hope there's explanations to come for this. I really hope.
I'm getting real frustrated about this.
It's been 2 minutes!
I don't care about the length.
It's the words themselves.
Man.
You stabbed me with a knife. I don't care if it was an inch long. You stabbed me.
And you go, he didn't... The first half of Suicide Squad focused on the characters and the later half focused on the plot.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
It truly did, but it blended so well together.
Oh well, I can't wait to figure out what he means.
You mean like when they're like, no, we're done with this, and they go sit down in a bar together and just talk? You mean like that blending together?
Man.
character or plot, those scenes always still carry a clear purpose. And if you've ever seen Back to the Future, you'll know that
Can we get all that again?
Often plagues big parts of other entries. Even when scenes are lacking in character or plot, those scenes always still carry a clear purpose. And if you've ever seen...
Okay, how is this lacking in plot or character?
Yes. What is a scene that is lacking in character?
It has to be this one, because he's showing it. But
No.
it's Clark figuring things out. It's
Yes.
Lois figuring things out. It's the plot coming together because that's how they meet.
This show...
And him learning about some of his heritage.
Clark sees the thing. Clark sees his thing. He goes, oh, this might fit in here, and he puts it in. He doesn't try to pick up the machine. He doesn't try to rattle it. He doesn't try to break it open. No, his choice is put thing into thing. That says something about his character. I can't think of too many scenes that don't say something about a character. And again, this is plot. This thing is the direct thing that leads into Jor-El showing up and going, we were conquering worlds and the big hologram thingy.
To the future, you'll know that purpose is what great movies are made of, which then creates the central question about Man of Steel.
Okay, what do you mean by that, dude?
Purpose and Back to the Future and great movies and...
The purpose of Back to the Future, he was just trying to get home. To get home, he needed to do X, Y, and Z. So he went through the world trying to get X, Y, and Z done.
The purpose of the Suicide Squad, Will Smith's character wanted to get out of prison to see his daughter. So he went along with this horrible task in order to do so. That is purpose, is it not? Each and every one of them had a purpose. If you're talking about how well it was executed, we need to talk about that. But you're simply talking about its purpose.
Why can I not edit my thing now? My Word document.
You're cracking up.
You see, my keyboard's not coming up. It's not letting me edit it. Anything.
Close it out and open it back up.
I literally just did.
I don't think you just did that.
All right, you know what? I'm going to restart my entire phone. That's what we're going to do.
Answer.
Where has he hidden it?
I don't know.
Where is the Kodak here?
So, let's look at the ways this film successfully handles both character and plot to create a worth...
See, he's going to answer it.
Filmento, I don't think you fully understand what those two letters mean.
No, I wasn't.
I don't think that you understand the connotation of what you're putting on screen here, Filmento, old buddy, old pal. I would refrain from doing so in such so close to each other, sir. Don't.
While experience functioning from beginning to end that all future franchise entries should learn from. Plus,
let me get all of that.
Oh my God, can we stop getting all of that?
He's just wording, so we need all of it. We can't interrupt him in the middle because then he just goes, and then that's all of these things should follow that thing that I just said. What did you say?
Back here.
so let's look at the ways this film successfully handles both character and plot to create a worthwhile experience functioning from beginning to end that all future franchise entries should learn from. Plus, there's also...
What'd you think of this movie? It was a worthwhile experience that functioned from beginning to end.
Perfectly blending character and plot somehow. That other DCEU
this movie
movies
has
do
so
not.
much CP, and it blended it together so well.
Technically it did.
I mean, yeah, we get a little baby dong in the beginning where I'm like, I don't know about this, but
PG-13, huh?
Third relevant key factor here that has often been a weakness in these DC movies, but I'll have to read this book on psychology first to explain it properly, so we'll get to that lastly. But yeah, here's what the DCEU has to learn from Man of Steel's Codex of Purpose.
the C drive.
Firstly, the way Man of Steel succeeds at the character side is by giving our hero Clark one central inner drive that the character scenes always revolve around and push further.
What is that drive?
Will Smith has a drive to see his daughter. How is this any different so far? Let's see if it does branch off. And like you said,
Wonder Woman also has a drive.
Yep, even in '84. Which is a film that you don't like. But like you said, Superman's drive simply seems to just be do good.
Yeah.
But he's not above vengeance.
It's basically hide out, keep a low profile, and save people when they're in trouble.
But he woman gets harassed in bar. He just bounces after just going, "Hey buddy, stop that." And he bounces, leaving lady to get further harassed. They're not just gonna stop.
Oh yeah, no, they
You
can't
went
stop.
away. They won. They're not. Dang, he was right. Maybe I should be the bigger. No, you got punked out, and now he's gonna grab them cheeks.
I'm just gonna have to do this a different way.
The basic gist here is that on Krypton, people are artificially bred to fit these predetermined roles, like leader or soldier or scientist and so on. Whereas Clark is the first natural birth that symbolizes the freedom to find and choose your own role.
How did they go about that?
How did they program a baby to go, you will be... So, what is Laura? What is Clark's mom? Is she just wife?
What is it about them that made them go against their programming to just go, we need to have a natural child? How did she cover up that? And what does she do that she's able to cover up that natural child for however long the Kryptonian gestation period is?
See, it would be different if it was, I'm a scientist and I want to see what a natural birth is, and if it differs from Kryptonian birth, so we can further Krypton's blah, 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 blah. But it was just like, oh, my son, natural birth choice.
What exactly was the reason behind this?
So, do Kryptonians have free will?
I can't imagine that they do if they're bred to be in this position in life.
So maybe they have free will outside of their role. Like Jor-El can't be anything but a scientist, but outside of being scientist man doing scientist man things, he can do whatever he wishes.
Well, obviously that. It's not just science all day, all night. But as far as your role in society, no, you do not have free will. So if you can't be like, I love music, so I'm gonna study. No. You're a soldier. Not? You're a soldier.
Okay, you're born to be that. But why are you not able to just choose, I want to be music teacher?
Because you were born into this role.
But how do you govern that even biologically?
The Codex has the DNA of scientists, and then they just go, we need another science, so they pick out DNA of scientists, and then they just...
Okay.
What happens... Let's just say you're a child, and you hit your head, and you're supposed to be a scientist, but you got brain damage now. Such that you can't be a scientist.
Oh, Yeller?
But you're... Do they just Spartan you and just go off the cliff?
Because Zod's whole thing was he was a general. He was born and bred to be soldier / general, whatever, and to further whatever Krypton protect
in the best interest of Krypton.
But after Krypton's gone, he just fights Clark. So his role is
no more. So I think that's where the free will comes in. When you cannot do your role. But his role was just soldier. It's not, or general, whatever it was. But his purpose was to protect Krypton and stuff. So this guy has ruined our homelands, let's say, and I'm gonna take revenge on him. So he still is within his birthright, his birth duty.
Sure thing.
So he's still within that, but
sure thing.
I don't.
Again, let's say you're born and bred to be a scientist. Do you have to learn? Or is that just
inherently within you? I think that you would have to learn, but once they pluck you out, they would go, we need 5 soldier babies. And they would pluck out 5 soldier babies. And they would put those 5 soldier babies into 5 soldier classes. So those 5 soldier babies wouldn't be learning about musical history because that doesn't really benefit them. They would learn about the past generals. And
So
crap
is
like
it
that.
just that you're more adept at learning the thing you're bred for? Or is it just, no matter what, that's your path, so you're going to be that thing anyway?
I think that you're more adept. Like I said, it could just be pluck a DNA of a scientist, and, you know, if your parents are scientists, there's a better chance of you becoming a scientist.
No,
than
no
somebody
better
like
chance.
A butcher.
No better chance.
I
Your
think-
only chance. Your only choice.
No, I don't think so. You don't think that if your 2 parents are scientists, you can't be anything else?
That's why the natural birth, so he can have a choice of what he wanted to be.
No, I'm talking about in real life.
Oh, no, real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about straight Krypton.
Oh no, Krypton? No. I'm talking about in real life.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in real life. If your 2 parents are scientists, you have a better chance of becoming a scientist than somebody
Because you grew up around
and they might push you into that field or something.
like football players' sons becoming football players.
But in Krypton, no. It's just bloop. Is there familial bonds there? Do they fertilize those eggs, or is it?
And is it their spermatozoa
Or
or whatever their reproduction system? Is it like we just draw blood from 2 married people and then put it in this incubation chamber until a baby is formed, until we need it? And do the parents care at that point?
And is it?
Or is it just, hey, you're going to be a soldier because I was a soldier, so buck up, soldier.
But is it even parentage? Or are they all just vaguely related because they all just come from the same DNA and they're just making babies where it's just like, poof, this is magic, poof, we making babies. Because when Zod when he was talking to Russell Crowe, he was already making Jor-El. He was already making a bunch of babies. So that doesn't really prove my point because they could have just him and Kara or whatever her name was, Feora could have just fertilized those. Yeah, and does he have the knowledge of how to implant DNA of scientist, soldier, whatever into those babies? What was his plan?
I've always asked, why is he even terraforming Earth?
If you're just better, it works here like this. What's the problem?
Why not get the Codex and go, all right, we're going to go to one of those other Kryptonian outposts, one of the more abandoned ones, and we're going to repopulate our in society. Why did it need to be Earth?
Or just do that, raise up, let's say 5 Kryptonians, come back to Earth, and then just take over. Because you got 5, 6, 7 Supermen at that point, instead of just, no, we're just going to do this here and now. Yeah, there's just... You said you were okay with the Kryptonian scene. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm simply not.
I'm not okay with it overall. I'm okay with it in the form of a movie. Not as plot. Character motivations, what have you, I can rock with that. Not as the plot. Scenically, I'm okay with it. Entertainingly, I'm okay with it.
Even going to the natural birth, what do they know about natural births? Umbilical cords, placenta.
Who birthed the baby? Was it the robot?
No, it was just Zod. I mean, not Zod. It was just Jor-El.
Okay. Yeah, they just pushed. Cool.
But there's a lot of stuff in birth, and
it's real gross, y'all.
And did they know about these things?
I mean, if you're if it's the first time in centuries, my guess is you've researched everything that you can
But
to make it as safe as possible.
Why would they keep those books on natural births?
I mean, there's no reason to throw them out. Zod said heresy, I understand. But is it a forbidden tomb or something? Or is it just...
If Zod was just like, what the... I think it is.
But Zod's weird. He killed as much of the console as he could.
Okay, so
You
why
think
are
your
there not
son is
natural
safe?
births? If it's not heretic, if it's not illegal, if it's not frowned upon, why are there not natural
Because
births?
I think there's a better chance at them being more perfect humans in a specific role. If you need scientists, let's say 3 scientists, and you birth 10 kids, there's a non-zero chance that none of them are scientists.
So we're just meant to believe that they're all so for Krypton that they're just like, yeah, we need scientists, so just make scientists. And everybody's like, I would like a kid, but scientists are needed, and give me scientists.
Yeah. If you want a kid, I don't think you care what they become as long as they're happy.
We don't know enough about this to even know if they're their children.
Nope. We don't know. Our resources were running dry. What would you have us do?
We don't know how people feel about births. We don't know if there's people against it or for it. We see
one
We
person.
see in council. We see these 2 months. We see Zod's crew. And that's not enough to go on. How do people feel about this whole thing? What is even this whole thing? It's a mess. Out the gate.
No.
It's the first child in centuries. Why? Because they just make us have these weird pod babies. And you just go along with it? Oh, we're not going to explore that.
What's the problem with the pod babies?
In terms of us watching or them being within the story?
I mean, with us watching, I can see. We're talking about it now.
Within it,
we are already at 40 minutes.
That's fine. Time doesn't matter. We're going to blow through this. He's not going to say anything. Within the thing, there's nothing wrong with it because we don't have...
been a because reason.
Because we don't have enough of a sample size of how people feel about this natural birth versus unnatural birth.
Absolutely not. And
we don't even... Zod is just like...
heresy!
He's just like... I keep forgetting his name. Jor-El. Because he's Russell Crowe. And the last thing I saw Russell Crowe as was Javert and Les Mis. So when Amy Adams turns his head and goes, "Who are you?" He goes, I'm Javert. Say Javert, you bastard. I love Javert. Like I said, Javert is one of my favorite characters of all time. But I just keep wanting to say Javert. Jor-El. Jor-El doesn't really help either because it's Jor-El Javert. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You hear the J and you're like, oh, Javert.
Yeah, we got it. We know we go Javert. But Jor-El, what exactly was his reason? He just goes, I had a boy child. I'm going to look up, see if I can find the script. I remember just boy child.
No, it was boy child.
Yeah, no.
I had a child. Yeah. Oh, you want the actual?
Yeah. I'm searching for that because I know that's definitively in the script, and that's gonna easily pick it up. Jesus Christ! I go to click this right here to do the finding this page, and then write Discord message. Hey, what it do, pimpin'?
Yo, Discord's update is... I understand we've talked about it, but it's really bad, y'all.
This is a second chance for all of the Kryptons. Not just the bloodlines you deem worthy. What have you done? We've had a child, Zod. A boy child. Krypton's first natural birth in centuries, and he will be free to forge his own destiny. So, yeah, they are not free. Heresy! Yeah, we got that. It just seems like he wanted them to be free to make their own choice. But that goes into...
Why did he decide?
What happens if somebody goes outside of their role? Because if you're a scientist and you go, I want to be a musician, are they going to lock you up and then lose their scientist? Either way? Or do they condition you? What is the process of... Because...
That's why I wondered if they had free will. Because there's a TV show called Severed, which is inside of this building. Whatever they do is so top secret that they undergo a procedure that once you leave the building, you're a person, and once you enter the building, you're a person. You're your work self and you're your usual self. So you go down the elevator at 9 a.m. and then you wake up and it's 5 p.m. There is a woman at the very beginning who constantly tries to escape because she doesn't feel like she has free will. So she talks to her other self and everything like, I want to quit and leave. And the other self is like, no, you shall not be doing that. This is important in work. So her does not truly have free will because she doesn't have a choice to be there. So do they have free will in that they have a choice to be there? Or is the role so ingrained in their DNA, they believe they want to be nowhere else?
They think they want to be that scientist, and thus they are. And it's so powerful that nobody's ever gone outside of that role. But Jor-El sees that this is a mistake, and...
Again, if he was just like, it's an experiment, but I love the kid...
Yeah.
I'd say, okay, he's a scientist. He tried to do a sciencey thing, and it turned out to be more loving than he initially thought. Because then that would also speak to Kryptonians just seeing children as the next to further the greatness of Krypton. Can we hit play? What do you look
I
up
will
now?
tell you in that just a second.
He runs this, y'all. It's over. It's over now.
We'll sever the degenerate bloodlines. We'll sever the degenerate bloodlines that led us to this state. So there must
Which are
be
the leaders.
So there must be some sort of something that they put into the goo that goes, our bloodline continues.
I mean, it's the House of L.
So they must just be spunking in the goo to make their new babies.
That's unsexy.
Well, it is what it is at this point.
I mean, either they're in a bathroom just cupping it up and then just gloop gloop, or they're over the goo. Either way, it's super unsexy.
Child's on, free to forge his own destiny.
Heresy! Destroy it!
Heresy!
Which essentially then makes Clark's inner drive or character.
Okay, can we stop with him putting these things over things?
We can by stopping this video.
Cool. That was a nice 48 minutes, y'all.
Boy.
The goal very simple: to find out who he is and figure out his place in the universe. And to be clear,
But that's every character. What main character does not have a drive in some way, shape, or form? Even if it's just, go get my friend. This is crazy.
this isn't plot because there's no external stakes or urgency or anything like that tied to it. It's just an internal want or...
But it leads to other stuff. That his drive to figure out who he is, he goes from place to place helping people, and then Lois goes back through those to find out who he is, and that leads Lois to figuring out who he is. So there is plot within that.
Struggle that affects only Clark. And the purpose of the plotless character scenes in the first half of the movie is to always explore this one aspect further. For example, after the crypt...
No. That was not his place in the universe when he said, I wanted to help. What was I supposed to let them do? Die? Maybe.
On prologue, we get this scene of young Clark at school, which carries no plot purpose whatsoever. But the purpose it does...
It absolutely does.
Oh my, and it does come in
With
later
Zod,
Yep.
where he's going through the same things. And he tells Zod, my parents taught me to focus on the thing that's in front of me. And Zod does that with his hand. This is plot relevant. Filmento.
Harry is this.
Yeah, we saw
Right,
the
the point
scene.
here is to visually establish to the audience that, oh yeah, Clark doesn't fit the pre-assigned role of a normal human school kid, which consequently pushes the progress bar of our main character exploration journey one step further. Later on, we have this scene where another kid's mom is freaking out because she thinks Clark saving their school bus from drowning earlier was
An act of God, Jonathan. This was providence.
which then consequently makes us realize that, oh yeah, because Clark doesn't fit the pre-assigned role of a normal human school kid, he might actually get in real trouble.
Right, we talked about this. You have.
What?
I thought he was going with the deifying aspect of it, which is the people might look up to him and want him to be a thing that he doesn't have a choice in being.
How does he get into trouble by...
He saved the kids and nothing came of it.
Yeah. But if he saved the kids...
Oh, this is also plot relevant because this helps Lois find Clark. Because she looks up the kid that saved him. Yep.
But he goes, he might get in trouble. Okay, Jonathan just goes, yeah, he did. He's got super strength. He can shoot lasers from his eyes. How does he get into trouble from that? What trouble comes from that?
Government people.
Government people come in to maybe want to experiment on him. But that's not getting into trouble.
Oh, Clark, you have to keep this side of yourself a secret.
Even later,
I do. I really don't like this game.
You really don't like that?
Everything you're saying was done in Smallville 80 times better.
Nah.
Again, this is one of my favorite scenes, and I've talked about it so many times. After Clark saves Lex, Lex buys him a truck, and his dad says, you cannot keep that. And Clark said, why not? It's not coming out of our pockets, and I saved the guy's life. And his dad goes, so you think you deserve a prize? Which speaks to Clark, hey, saving people is its own thing.
You don't do
look
good things to get something back.
something in return. See how easy that is? It wasn't like you saved a bunch of kids, but maybe you should have let that go to protect yourself.
To protect you.
I'm worried about you, Clark. I don't give a shit about the kids.
You have the power to save people, and you absolutely did. You did a good job with saving those people, but maybe you shouldn't have.
He didn't even say good job.
But maybe you shouldn't have to protect yourself. Your life is more, your potential life is more than the definite death of 16 children.
Understand?
Got it? We're good now? We're cool?
All right, I hope you take this message to you in 30 years. All right, thanks, Dad. Thanks for the talk. Let kids die. You got it. Whatever.
But then he just goes on to just save people. Because, with the whole oil rig and stuff, people were taking pictures enough that Lois was just like, oh yeah, I recognize it. What? Don't save people if it's going to cost you your identity, Clark. And then the first scene is him saving people from the oil rig.
Which technically cost him his identity since Lois was able to track him down.
And he had to leave that job.
the sequence of Clark learning to fly, which again serves absolutely no purpose in terms of the plot. There's no external challenges or obstacles forcing Clark to learn to fly here or else. It's just this cool thing we seem to have mostly for fun.
This editing.
But as before, the reason this sequence is so important is because it serves as the clear next step in our character journey by showing us and Clark not necessarily fully who he is yet, but rather who he can be.
In time, you will help them accomplish wonders.
thus once again pushing that progress bar one step further. And
I feel like that progress bar jumped a couple steps.
It definitely did.
Why not just make it shorter then?
Shut up, that's why.
Cool.
with pretty much every plotless scene in the first half, this is their purpose for existing, to further explain.
But it all helps with the plot. Like,
you said a plotless scene and you showed Jonathan Kent giving him this thing that leads him into his father explaining all of this Krypton stuff.
Which also leads into the thing they need to stop Zod.
Explore Clark's inner journey of finding his own place in a world in which he has no predetermined fit. Whether it's exploring the question of what he should do,
Family's been farming for 5 generations, Clark.
Your family, not mine.
Or how he should
No, that's not a good scene, dude. That is not a good scene. Cause then Jonathan Kent goes, yeah, I'm not your dad. My God, how do people get it? I'm so sick of this. Oh, you just want Jesus, Superman, Boy Scout. No, I want a father that teaches his son right from wrong and goes, don't you and say that. I am your father. I am your parent. Shut the up, Clark.
I don't think he would say that part.
Jonathan Kent will drop some F-bombs.
Not this Jonathan Kent.
Not this one. I know. I will go save the dog. Why? Because Clark might lose control and flip the car, and then everyone's like, ooga booga, Clark Kent. I will die. Death in tornado scene.
He's not going to mention it.
He can't. I refuse to believe that in any facet of his mind he goes, yes, that is a good and good. I was about to say
purposeful.
Because I was about to say meaningful, but technically it's a meaningful death in teaching Clark that his secret is even worth his father's life. Technically, but it's kind of a meaningless death because it did not need to happen.
It was horrible.
Horrible.
I was looking for the exact words that they said just to see what Clark was going. I don't want to be a farmer. And he just goes, I want to do something useful with my life.
Farming is super useful.
Which is what the next line is. So farming, feeding people, that's not useful. I didn't say that. Our family has been farmers for 5 generations. Your family, not mine.
I don't even know why you're saying this. You're not even my dad.
You're just some guy that found me in the field.
You're right, Clark.
You're always right. But yeah. We don't have enough of this Clark Kent to know
why he would even lash out like that.
Yeah, how many more close calls he had, how many more people that he saved. It was like, this is a good feeling. I don't care about my safety. I don't care about keeping myself secret. I just want to help people because people need help and I'm in a position to help. We don't get that. That
would have been even better for this scene if he was like, Dad, you can't keep holding me back. There's so many people out there I could save and protect if they just knew about me. And then that would lead to him going, I am willing to protect who you are so much that I will die in this tornado. Like a goof.
What's the benefit of keeping me secret? Keeping me safe? I mean, shoot me with this shotgun. Nothing happened. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to be pretty cool.
What do you believe the military could do to me? Do you need me to raise a military base right now? I'll show you, Dad.
I just would like more of this to see where this hostility is coming from. Because he was kind of dour in the, I just want to save people. I thought that was a good thing. Now he's just like, nah, I want to do this. It'd be better if there was some newspapers just like, look, the blur. Here's this red blur that's just coming around and saving people. And he's just like, Clark, I told you can't be doing this. People are finding you now. Technology is getting more and more advanced. You're going to be found out sooner or later. And then the people are going to come for you. Who knows what they can do to you? Who knows what they will do to you?
Who knows what if they don't have something that can hurt you?
These conversations. And then to have it speak to be like, you know, if your journey ends here, you'll never be able to save people later in life. There'll come a time for that, but it'll come. But it's just not right now. We need to figure out what's going on exactly. What's the best way for you to help people?
Clark, even with all your powers, you have to realize you cannot save everybody. It is just a statistical impossibility. You do what you can, but you also keep yourself safe. No. I don't want to be a farmer.
Not mine.
Or how he should act.
I wanted to hit that kid.
Yeah, but then what? Make you feel any better?
Or where he comes from.
Every child was designed to fulfill a predetermined role in our society.
Then, once we get to the midpoint where we have explored Clark's inner journey quite far, the movie finally shifts focus on the plot, which of course, as always is the case in this franchise, extremely turns it into...
And again, we explore so much of Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad, a movie where you call the characters weak. And then once we finish exploring that and the Joker and all that stuff, we move on to the plot of the big evil witch and the big blue laser in the sky. What's the difference? You're not saying that it's good. You're simply saying that it happened.
That it's been done. But it's been done at the other thing.
It happened in the Suicide Squad.
It happened in Wonder Woman. It happened in Shazam. Maybe plot is where it's going to become different. But so far, all you're saying is things that other things have done that you're like, well, they need to do.
But the thing you'll notice is that even though Man of Steel does allow the plot to take over, it still doesn't just forget about the character side altogether, but instead now moves to gradually resolve it. Whereas the first half was about Clark searching who he is in the universe, the second half is all about him having to, based on that search, finally once and for all choose who he is. And on multiple occasions, he does.
Pause!
No, he's been doing that before he was the quote-unquote Superman.
What choice is there in that? How does saving this person compromise him in any way? Him saving those bus load of kids, that compromises them. They might be fine.
Know who Clark Kent is.
But he's out in the open. He's already
Superman.
Been captured by the military. They've got pictures and cameras and right in his face. What choice is here? Do it or don't do it. What's the purpose of not doing it? What would that benefit? What would it harm by not doing it? Homeboy would die.
You okay?
Clark doesn't view himself as Kryptonian even though he was born on Krypton. He doesn't view himself as human even though he grew up on Earth.
Pathetic! Absolutely pathetic! Clark is both. And he knows he's both. Pathetic!
I don't think we got enough of that.
That he's not
duality
human.
And not human, not Krypton, but something.
I understand the not Krypton because he grew up on Earth.
And he just now are realizing these people. It's your adopted family. You don't just go, yep, I'm over here now. No. You've been over here. You've been born and raised over here. You don't just because that's your blood go right over there.
The only reason he's not human is because he's quote unquote alien or different. But Clark Kent is a human. Superman is an alien.
And what does it mean to be Kryptonian? Because he just goes, he's not fully Kryptonian, he's not fully human. What does it mean to be a Kryptonian?
How's he not fully Kryptonian? He is. The only reason he's not is because he got a choice, I guess. But DNA-wise, he's nothing but 100% Kryptonian. Even if he grew up on Krypton, would he not be Kryptonian?
What does it mean to be Kryptonian? Is it a personality-based thing? Is it the choices that you make? Is it an ideology? I don't know. Yeah, figure it out, Filmento says.
In any pre-assigned role, but instead based on what he's learned so far, chooses to form his own. He wants both worlds to prosper, but he will not.
Balls, no he doesn't, because he actively destroys it while yelling Krypton had a chance. Thus, spiraling that ship into several buildings. killing nobody because they're all empty.
But yeah, with the whole Krypton had a chance thing. If Zod is said you're destroying Krypton, and he said, and I'll mourn for it, you could say something.
Or he just
but
goes,
I can't let you
land
kill
this
my
ship, and we'll figure out a way. We'll give you some land.
I'll help you somewhere else.
We'll do
Zod.
something, but you can't do this here and now.
I won't let you hurt this planet. I will find you a place, but this is not the one. No, I want this place. There's nothing I can do now. So be it.
Maybe deal with Zod instead of everything, instead of taking it away, instead of trying to. You're not changing the man's mindset. You're just going, nah, you can't have it no more. No, it's gone. So there's nothing to want anymore because it's gone. Shut up. Clark does not want Krypton to prosper.
Stop the bush.
When Zod just like. Maybe he does, but he was sold a bill of goods with the throne of skulls. Where he's just like, maybe not like this. If he had said not like this, that would have been something.
Not in the way you see Krypton. Not your Krypton.
There has to be a better way. There must be something else.
No, Krypton had a chance.
I've coexisted for so long. We can all coexist here. You don't need to just take this place. Nah. Krypton had a chance. Laser.
At the cost of the other, which is where the emotion of the plot comes from.
No. It is forced because there is no reason he can't go to another planet and terraform it. No reason that he can't go to Neptune or some other galaxy where they already know the planet anyway.
Because all it's doing is making it habitable for the Kryptonians. So you can do that with any planet.
And that's even bullshit. Cause Zod rips off his mask and like, I'm cool here.
Now. We're good now. So it's already habitable for Kryptonians. It makes you better than anything, really. You just gotta deal with a couple minutes of discomfort, really. And it can just be spurned on at any point in time when you're a kid. Cause Clark lived there for all of his life. What was Clark, like 7, 8 at that time?
It had to be.
And then all of a sudden, bam, it just hit him. Bam, it just hit him.
Heat vision, X-ray vision, sound, sight.
So it's not like it's even as soon as you're born and a baby can't focus. No, it just hit him. Not even like it was like, I can understand if it was an analogy for puberty where he just pops a boner and it's just like, there it is.
That's what happened in Smallville.
Lasers and crap like that. That'd be something, but it was just random, boom, there it is. So long as once they're old enough to conceptualize like focus and stuff like that, you sit them down and just go, okay, what am I doing behind this wall? And
that's what they did in Smallville.
Oh. I've not seen enough Smallville. This is not me picking in the back of my memory like, this is what they should do. This is a great idea. They did that. Well, it was a great idea.
Yeah, in Smallville, there were people that would hold their hands behind their backs or through a wall just to help Clark focus. For his heat vision, it was a super hot day. And his teacher, his new sub-teacher, or it was a new teacher or whatever, provocatively dressed, wiping sweat off of her, and it just flared up on him. So his dad was, I love this scene. His dad's like, Clark, what were you thinking about when you were doing that? Just focus on the barn and hit it. And he had his arm around him. He's like, Dad, I need you to not touch me while I do this. And you know, there were all these, whenever he got his powers, it was minutely explored. Here's how you focus your hearing, your vision, your X-ray vision, blah, blah, blah. Whenever he got something new, there was basically the episode dedicated to helping him learn that thing. It wasn't all popped on at once and just like, oh my Jesus, what the Because I feel like the sensory overload for like a baby would be horrific. It'd be crazy.
But they just don't do that apparently because Clark didn't go through that.
Yeah, in Smallville, he slowly gets it. He get speed. He gets flight minutely. He gets X-ray vision minutely. Just constantly growing and building instead of, I hit 7, it all hit me at once. Maybe he's absorbed enough of the sun's radiation for his cells to do what they need to do to give him those powers. Because maybe before that time, he did not have the powers he had.
I don't know about that, because in that scene, they were talking about the kids were like, oh, he's so weird. The parents won't even let us play with him.
I mean, but he's an alien. You never know. Maybe there was something that popped like his super strength once.
I would have liked to see that.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that. Maybe he had his strength and stuff, but he didn't have all his sensory stuff like
you
the smell,
you say that he absorbed all the radiation. He absorbed enough radiation, and that's what popped it. Zod.
Yeah, but maybe the body, the way it metabolizes it changes with age. Are you saying that bodies don't change with age? DNA does not degrade. Are you saying that? Are you saying, hey, answer my question first. Answer my question
first. Boy,
answer my
you
question.
Have anything for
answer
this.
My question
do
first.
You have
hey, how about we
you laid
answer
the claim first.
How about you answer my question first,
and then I am allowed to question your claim.
I understand the question of the claim. I made the claim first, and then I furthered it.
No. You made the claim, and I am allowed, therefore, since the claim was made, to question the claim.
Okay.
Once the claim is laid flat, then we can move on to further lines of questioning.
It's not my question. An answer to your claim
is not.
In that DNA changes and degrades as you get older and all this other
because
stuff.
That doesn't address my question, which is what evidence do you have of this?
The not ethereal, but the known data we have on DNA.
You research it. I'm making this claim, but you gotta research it, cuck. Disprove the research that you look up.
Boy, I linked you a YouTube video and we just watched the video.
I didn't watch it personally, but you do your own research. Look up DNA. Look it up. Just look it up. It's there. But yeah, I can't say that it's the absorption thing because of Zod breaks that.
Yeah.
If you destroy this ship, you destroy Krypton! Krypton had its chance!
And that's essential.
Yeah, okay. That was... I sure wanted that to prosper.
Point
I sure wanted it to prosper.
Do you think you're making there? Not... We need to do this another way. There is another way. Nah, it had its chance. It's 100-0. I'm 100% for the humans. The Kryptonians, they had their chance. Bunch of hoity-toity muffs with big hats sitting there, making horrible decisions.
You should keep in mind about the character side going forward. When you have scenes not driven by plot, make sure those scenes always further explore your hero's inner journey.
Like them sitting down in the Suicide Squad at a bar?
Yes. Like Harley Quinn's horrible obsession with dumb things that she really likes, like egg sandwiches. Thus furthering how she can be so obsessed with somebody like the Joker. In a movie. Whoa. And that's the movie that he claimed was more focused on plot.
Struggle. And when you finally ramp...
I'm sorry. Can we get all of that?
Scenes not driven by plot, make sure those scenes always further explore your hero's inner journey of want and struggle. And
like the bar scene in the Suicide Squad? Do you realize that you've basically described the Suicide Squad? Not the Suicide Squad, because the Suicide Squad is actually good. Do you understand that you've done that? Turn around, you pieces of shit. I don't know why, but Waller just screaming at them as they're walking up the stars.
Great. You dumb piece of fuck.
Turn around, God. I love it. Hey, y'all, The Suicide Squad is such a good movie.
When you finally ramp up the plot toward the end, don't just forget about that character journey, but instead force your hero to overcome the external plot obstacles by choosing the resolution for it.
Bro,
that scene would have been a lot better if she was balling up his fist and he was unballing it. But he rocks up ready to fight. Just like, oh, we doing this. Not... There could be a resolution outside of fisticuffs.
There's nothing else to be done here but us throwing the most of downs.
That would have been so... I was thinking about that as I was watching it. Just like, don't ball up the fist. Don't do it. And he just does.
Secondly, the way Man of Steel succeeds at the plot side is by establishing an external scenario that features all the required components of a functional plot: goal, stakes, and urgency.
Pause.
Hey.
It's the Suicide Squad.
Like, Suicide Squad? Are we talking about Suicide Squad?
Are we talking about...
not the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad.
Wonder Woman 1984. Goal, stakes, and urgency.
Character, drive.
And you hated that movie.
The non-plot moments.
The goal is to stop this dude from making so much wishes. The stakes is everybody can make a wish, so giant people, missiles, world go boom. The urgency is that they're doing it right here, right now. Because
and the world might actually get blowed up.
Because he's projecting it to every single person in the world. Goal, stakes, urgency. You can't just go, a movie needs these things, without speaking at all about how it's done, the quality by which it's done. The fact that it is does not make it good.
Because
and that's what you're saying.
Happened in 1984 because it did have the character moments, the drive. It had the moments outside of the plot with the character thing that also led to plot moments that also featured character moments, like Minerva kicking the dude that was harassing her, from which is both character thing and a plot thing because it ties back into what happened at the original point of the film and wanting to be more like Diana. That's a bad movie though. I don't care that it did have a character with drive.
Just that it's just doing it. People like these analyst months just need to understand it is not simply that it's doing it and then it's automatically good. Because then once you plug that crap into other stuff, you just go, well, what's up? It's here too. Why is this special
now?
Oh, this just does it really good.
Okay, explain how it's done good. Don't just explain that
it's done.
Because that whole character drive thing was just explaining that it was done. And all the things, like the progress bar going up, could have been applied to Wonder Woman. Could have been applied to Deadshot. Could be applied to Shazam. And now goal, stakes, urgency, Shazam is this. How do you not understand that the things you're saying apply to almost any film in history?
Urgency is such an obvious thing. Stakes, goals. What film doesn't have a goal?
Freddy versus Jason had all these characters. Drive of the main character. Goals, stakes, urgencies with the plot. Freddy versus Jason. Hey, Child's Play Season 2, or Chucky Season 2 coming out October.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
October
3rd. Yeah, like a week.
So soon. I haven't heard of anything like that. But I don't.
You didn't see the trailer? Oh, dude, that trailer was godly.
All right.
They did a cover of a REM song.
I'll watch it.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. I want that cover so bad because I don't know what it is.
I still didn't get my Buzz Lightyear's Starman. For some reason, they're not releasing that. For some reason, put it out, you cucks.
I don't know what it is, but I have become a big fan of the slower, dramatic-y types of covers to more upbeat songs. That's all.
Finally, the main plot here does go through a couple shifts in the process, the central crux of it is that General Zod arrives to Earth in order to, well...
Krypton lives again. What happens to Earth? The foundation has to be built on something.
Pause. Why could he not soften the blow? Why could he not lie? Simply lie.
Heresy.
No, it's not heresy.
Lying is heresy. I am a truthful man.
I'm nothing but an honest man. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do to the.
I'm gonna kill them. It's going to happen. Kyle.
I know you love them. I know you want to protect them. I know you've grown up here for 33 years and you see yourself as one of them. But they got to go, Clark.
Cal,
sorry, because we're done with all that. I mean, you're already on the scores.
I played your game long enough.
Because he seemed pretty... Jesus Christ. Of course they have a swing set in the background. We got it.
It's sad.
But
that's his farm and it's swing set.
But when he gets on a ship and he goes, "What the f is up, Zod?" and what is her name? Feyora just goes, "That's General Zod." He goes, "Oh, calm down. He's not accustomed to our ways." You know, he seemed
some decorum.
Well, he seemed very reasonable there. You don't just open up with the hologram of skulls and just go, "This cool, Clark? We good?" Because this happening, all right? What did he think was the best possible outcome? I know he strapped him down.
Go along with it because he's Kryptonian at the end of the day.
But he knows that he's got the free will and all that crap. He doesn't have a role. He doesn't have attachment to these people. He has attachment to the human people. So why would he think that
Kryptonians have attachments? Does Zod have attachments?
He does to Krypton.
Yes.
But that's because he's programmed to.
Does he have attachments to a person? Or does he have attachments to a soldier?
I don't think we see anything of the sort.
So, I don't know if he, in his mind, can...
contextualize.
Can understand the concept of I care for a person. I care for a people.
But he cares for the people of Krypton.
Only because he was programmed for that. And his programming would probably lead him to believe a Kryptonian is going to care for Krypton
but he
more than
understands
anything.
The feeling of caring for a people as a whole.
I don't know if he does, actually. Because the whole reason he turned on the console was because they laid Krypton to ruin.
But he also goes, "We'll start anew without all this pesky bloodline." Because he knows that this bloodline is poisoning the purity of Krypton.
Yeah, Krypton. But I don't know if Kryptonians.
But the bloodline isn't Krypton. It's the people that's Krypton.
See, I don't think he sees it that way. And that's why I'm like, I don't know if he cares for the Kryptonians or if he cares for Krypton, whatever his concept of Krypton is.
I can't argue whatever his concept of Krypton is.
I'm just saying, I've never seen him care for an individual.
No, but I'm just saying he does care for the group, and he should be able to see how another person cares for the group.
But I don't know if he sees anything but how could a Kryptonian not care for the group of Krypton over all else?
But we'll address that later. But he understands group love.
I can't.
But him going, you should love the group of Krypton. I understand that you love the group of humans, but you should love the group of Krypton.
I can't say that because I have never seen him love of Kryptonians.
But he loves the Kryptonians as a whole.
I can't even say that.
He wants to protect them. He knows that this is
he wants his planet back. Otherwise, he would take
the people.
No, he would take the people he has now and settle somewhere.
No, but he wants the people as well. That's why he wants the Matrix and all that crap.
No, okay. But again, he would take his people, the people that he has on his ship, that can repopulate.
No. You can't repopulate. You can't do the dirty in a natural way. That's bad. That's not Krypton.
But how do they form children?
By gooing into the Matrix, into the Codex.
It would just have to be him. No, but who's building it? Do they have the birthing matrix on that ship?
Yeah. They showed it when he was talking to Javert. I'm going to just say Javert. When he was talking to Javert and it was in the background. It was just sitting there.
Okay, I must miss that. Through all the pontificating.
It was a lot of pontificating there was. Yeah,
right,
this will get
here to upgrade, or I guess to us downgrade Earth into a new Krypton. And just by that external scenario alone, we already have all the plot components built in. The goal, or what we're doing, is stopping Zod's machines from turning Earth into Krypton.
Suicide Squad is what we're doing is stopping Big Witch Lady from opening a portal to whatever she was doing.
Something about her brother and life on Earth.
Her brother and something. I forget what she wanted to do, but she sure didn't want to do something. You can't tell me that she didn't want to do something.
Or why we have to do it is all the lives on Earth that we got attached to on our character journey.
Goal, the stakes are the muffs on Earth that might be terraformed or whatever she was doing in the Suicide Squad,
and the Suicide Squad members that we've grown accustomed to and cared for.
What was her name?
The witch.
Yeah,
Enchantress.
Enchantress. I was just like the Scarlet Witch, and I'm like. No, not exactly.
Not even close. She's green.
I was just like, yeah, it's a witch, and we all know what witch it was.
Which witch is which? Thanks, Wiki, for the ad. Thanks.
Oh, it's so great. I love it. It's a super weapon. Okay, here it is. Building the super weapon. Stepping outside, channel, wreak havoc. City, military, super weapon.
Ooga booga.
What does it do?
Hey, it's a super weapon. Isn't that enough?
Save from you.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to watch Suicide Squad again.
It's fine. She wanted to do something.
Yeah, it was something not worthwhile.
Yes.
Urgency, or when it has to be done, is, I mean, it's mostly kind of right now.
In Suicide Squad, she was literally doing the thing.
Resurrect her brother Incubus and reclaim the world.
And she was literally in the middle of doing that.
Yes.
In Suicide Squad. You have just described Suicide Squad. I hope you understand what you're doing.
You just described so many movies. I can't think of movies that don't have this. The Lion King had this. They were Pride Rock was running dry and they were all about to die. That's the urgency. The goal was to stop in Scar. The stakes was if you don't stop Scar, everybody dies.
The character was Simba growing up to not care and to run away from his responsibilities and all of that stuff. Correct?
My goodness. It's not just doing it. The Room. The goal. Discovering that Lisa is cheating. The stakes. If you don't discover Lisa is cheating, you might get into a relationship with her where she's a cheating witch and she just rings you out for your money and the fact that you're such a good guy, Johnny, you're just going to take it. The urgency is you all might get married. She said she was pregnant and thus the time is ticking away. You're going to make an honest woman out of her and marry her, and then once you get divorced, you're going to get half your stuff. The Room has this stuff. Those three things.
What all movies did we mention?
Suicide Squad, 84.
Yep, both Woes, thank you.
Three components serve as the external driving force behind the second half of the film, and they are the thing that makes everything we do in the second half serve a clear functional purpose in one form or another. Now, could the plot in execution have been better than just another blue sky beam threatening the whole world? Yes, but at the same time, I'll concede that it does still do the job to earn its purpose of existence.
It
purpose of existence.
You've earned. You sound like a Kryptonian. Good job, little soldier. You've earned your purpose for existence.
Wow, that's crazy. That's some craziness right there, boy. Yeah, I cannot believe that was.
What do we say about you've earned your purpose to exist? And yeah, it does bad stuff, but it's earned its purpose to exist. Sure, Filmento. What doesn't earn its purpose to exist? What doesn't appeal to somebody out there? What isn't doing something that's just worthy of existence?
In film.
In
media, really.
I'd say in life.
This is craziness, dude. He is really pumping this up with basically no words. Words that apply to so many other things.
Why is it so hard to just talk about stuff?
Because you have to seem like you know what you're talking about. And to do that, you have to evergreen your verbiage a little bit. Because if you start getting into the nitty gritty of what you believe to be the good and the bad of the thing, you can be proven wrong. Mm-hmm. And I can't do that. So I'll let you prove in your own mind of why I'm right by showing these things and saying character progress bar.
Because this is the same thing that happened with that Spider-Man video. Where Muff was just talking about, hey, update your application status. Come on, hurry up. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's just that same thing of stop talking about everything. Stop talking about I can't think of a movie that doesn't have GSU, including one of the worst movies of all time, The Room.
The Room, that's the one.
Let people get spoiled on The Room.
No, fine. They have to experience it themselves. I can't think of anyone in this world that cares enough to watch us that has not seen The Room yet. I don't see how that's possible.
Or just doesn't care enough to watch The Room. Yeah, I'm just going through my mind, just looking for a movie that doesn't have GSU. And
it's almost impossible.
Almost
even impossible. Rom-coms have them. Because they'll be the big, they didn't really care. Yeah. All types of sitcoms.
Straight comedies.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz has stakes. Greatest comedy ever. Goals, stakes, urgency. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Hot Fuzz is the greatest comedy ever. It is the best of the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, I can't think of a single movie.
How can you?
Legitimately.
And Resident Evil sucked every ball and had all of that.
Well, that's too many balls when you think about it.
Yeah, not for Resident Evil. They went more balls, please.
Friday has GSU.
It's incredible.
Clock Stoppers has GSU.
Oh my God. Clock Stoppers. Jumper. Looper. Tenet. And what was that little girl detective?
Encyclopedia Brown?
No, girl detective.
Encyclopedia Brown was a girl.
No, he was a dude.
There's a girl detective that I'm thinking of.
I'm thinking of the Nickelodeon Girl Detective.
Yeah, there was a movie.
Yes, and I think she wore like an orange raincoat or something. I mean, a yellow raincoat. Encyclopedia Brown was a dude, guy. Did you forget who Encyclopedia Brown was?
No, this is a dude. Who was that Nickelodeon Girl Detective?
Yeah,
let me look this up. Because I know who you're talking about. I can see
yes,
it.
thank you.
Shelby Woo.
Shelby Woo. The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo had stakes.
Oh, and Harriet the Spy as well. There's two of them.
Oh yeah, Harriet the Spy. That was great. And Are You Afraid of the Dark had stakes. Goosebumps had stakes. Gold stakes, urgency.
Most of the Twilight Zone, which are self-contained 23 minutes, have GSU.
God, Twilight Zone's so good.
This is stupid.
This is stupid. We gotta have the video left.
No, we don't.
Pair it up with the character journey choices that Clark in the process has to make.
Kal-El, I say this. Surrender within 24 hours, or watch this world suffer the consequences.
What does your gut tell you?
But all that said, despite certain other entries' inability to competently succeed even at this, I'd say they should be pretty obvious here, so if you want to know more, you can check out my other videos on the topic. The thing about Man of Steel I do find worth noting though is its ability to weave in plot even to the sections where the plot doesn't yet exist. See, after we get the initial...
The plot, dude, this is incredible.
Weaving in plot where the plot doesn't exist.
That's set up for the plot.
That is set up for the plot. What are you talking about?
Which is
there's always a point
in
in the movie where the plot doesn't exist and the plot must be introduced.
Thank you, Ice Cream Lady.
Plugs for the plot in the prologue, it then kinda goes away altogether because there's this 40-minute character section before Zod shows up. And yet in that plot...
You mean like how in a lot of action movies they'll show the villain doing the thing that they're trying to do and then they'll cut to the hero spending time with their family or on their base with their friends or whatever, and then the plot starts? Do you mean something like that?
It happened in Avengers. The first scene is Loki taking people over, and then we go off into gathering the Avengers, and we don't see Loki for quite some time.
Hulk and all that. What? Ah.
Yeah, there's a good lad.
There's so many spoilers.
'Cause he sucks!
I don't think that's ever been the answer to there's so many spoilers. Yo, why are there so many spoilers? Because he sucks.
To journey-driven section, the movie still manages to evoke the exhilarating feeling of plot by creating
a really bad green screen.
Really bad.
These self-sufficient situations centered around the same three components. For example, early on there's this character scene where Clark is just casually working on his boat as a fisherman when suddenly...
All civilian boats, stand clear. The subsea valves failed and the rig is about to explode.
Just like that, a character beat has turned into an external manifestation of GSU. The goal is to free the stuck-in-place oil...
Oh my god, you are literally just talking about what happens in scenes! Is this for real?
This is nuts. This is nuts that somebody has to watch a movie like this and then relay it to you in order for it to be good. In order for this to be the how to build the greatest DCEU movie.
Even though that has happened in other movies in the DCEU. I think every movie of the DCEU. Why are some better than others? If they all just do the thing.
Workers. The stakes are the lives of the workers. The urgency is the fire about to blow the whole place up. Goal, stakes, urgency, plot. Another example, we have a character scene of young Clark sitting on his bus when...
Oh my goodness!
Again, suddenly a plot-driven situation.
Pause. We have the very first scene that we see Will Smith's dad shot. Go shoot that person. Stakes, he needs money. Otherwise, he won't have money to take care of his daughter. Urgency, the person doesn't want to give them the money and the dude is walking away.
To to get the
just having these things doesn't automatically make a scene good. I don't want to have to be sitting here watching a movie going, okay, there's the stakes, but where's the goal and the urgency? Okay, now this scene works. Now, plot.
Out of the water to save the other school kids on board before they all drown. The Arctic scene, we have to get to the Kryptonian ship.
Dude, this isn't a point, but he keeps using examples like he's doing something. Like this is going somewhere. Oh yeah, all these scenes do have GSU, and thus they are good. And thus they all coalesce into something that's good. How many scenes must have GSU before the movie is good? Before the movie is coherent? Or does it just need it? And you'll just figure it out through a feeling.
This is a really bad video.
To prevent it from falling in the wrong hands before the army finds it. And then within that, there's even another plot beat of us having to save Lois, and so on and so on. The point I'm getting at here is that even though the main plot doesn't fully kick in until like halfway in, the movie still creates these external situations to give us the exhilaration of plot. So that even though our focus is mostly on character, it's not only on character, and thus doesn't ever become boring. We have these...
Hey, I just want to say, I phased out of all of that.
I phased out of most of it.
If you were to ask me to relay what he just said, 4 words maybe.
It was something about how the plot
how
the plot stays up, even though it's all about the character stuff, and that's why it's not boring or something.
And I understand commenter, oh, you're just improving, you don't pay attention. No, this is awful. And because of that, I thought of a non-awful thing. And then I snapped back to reality and went, oh my God, he's talking.
Hey, potential commenter. Think of the worst movie that you could think of. Does it have GSU? It most certainly does. You know it
So
does.
at this point, why would I even listen to more of his GSU talk?
Smaller contained missions fueled by the emotion of the character journey in which we either succeed or fail.
There was no reason to fail there.
Yeah.
And that's what...
A tornado would not peacefully engulf you like that. No, you would be buffeted by trees and cars and crap. He would have been dissected.
You see the debris already in it, and then he's just not there.
I wish all these DCU movies in the future would do. Even though...
No, they do. But you don't think they're very good.
For some reason.
Why don't you? Do they not have the character? Do they not have character moments interwoven into plot? Do they not have plot moments with GSU? Do they not do these things? Please point out how they do not do these things. Because they all do this thing.
So it must be something else other than the GSU, other than the plot into characters and all that stuff that makes a movie good or bad. You're looking at this movie as a formula. The formula of GSU, the formula of plot into characters and interwoven them into each other.
Dare I say he's trying to be objective with why this works? But in that objectivity, you fail to realize that all the movies you disliked apply. They all do the thing.
It's important to give us an internal character journey that makes us feel. We still also need a steady stream of external plot situations to make us exhilarated. Give us things happening. Give us real external obstacles.
I don't need happening.
I don't need things happening. I need good things happening. I need things that I care about happening.
I don't care if 3 things happen if they were good things, and in the in-between, the characters are characters I vastly like.
I don't care if 1,000,000 bad things happen. Because it's bad things happening. According to you, it's things happening, but it's bad things.
As long as you're exhilarated, it's worth it.
Overcome. Give us something that combines the emotion of a small character study and the excitement of a big Hollywood blockbuster.
Like Shazam, like Wonder Woman, like Suicide Squad, like all these other films. Dude, you're not saying anything. Literally not. Not literally not. Figuratively not. You're figuratively
literally not. But I will say, Man of Steel does the Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, the people are in crisis and they need to help each other way better with Perry and the...
Yeah.
That was way better than just, oh no, the planes and people that we don't know or care about, is something's going to happen to them or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, finally, the thing that ties both of these aspects together is the villain.
I get it. It's a good bad.
So lastly, there's the massively crucial DC aspect of the main villain, which here comes in form of...
What do you mean the massively crucial DC? It's most superhero movies need a super villain or a villain or an opposition of some kind. It's not a simple DC thing.
General Zod. Again, whether Zod is the greatest DCU villain we've had so far is up for you to decide, but he's definitely up there among the greatest. You know, already based on the fact that he's not a hulking mass of empty CGI acting like a little kid lost in a store.
Where is my mother?
There's a lot of good things to say about Zod, and if you look at my...
There's a lot of good things to say about that version of Steppenwolf. I will always love the scene of him picking people up and them going, please, I have a family, and then him just going, why do they keep telling me that? Why does everybody say that? He don't care.
That means literally nothing. Family? I need my mother.
He got moments like that where that shows that he clearly just doesn't care. So he's going to do whatever he wants to this person. And you know that they have a family. So you must have some sort of empathy for that.
Again, not saying Steppenwolf is a
No.
good character.
No.
Almost every character has something praiseworthy about them.
And he's threatening enough. We saw him rock up with the Amazonians and lay waste to them. He has a big enough army where the Amazonians are overwhelmed. Somebody like military guns, people, they're not going to do anything against that. So that
you'll find
I would like to see that villain video to see
wouldn't.
To see how it applies to this version of Steppenwolf.
Say about Zod, and if you look at my villains video, for example, you'll find that he fills all the qualities mentioned there. But the reason I'm bringing Zod up here is
all the qualities mentioned there.
What a formula!
It's a spreadsheet. Check. Good. No matter what happens, so long as you're threatening, so long as you oppose the hero, whatever the case may be. So long as you hit those check boxes, they must be good for Filmento, even if it's covered in
highlight him in the context of what we've talked about so far. Because one of the most central key ways that Man of Steel makes Zod work is by organically tying him into both its purposeful character as well as plot work in order to build him into something that every villain should.
So the villain ties into the character and the plot. Amazing, Man of Steel.
You've done it again.
Why can't almost every single hero movie do that?
Like Captain Marvel, for example.
Captain Marvel was in that position because of that dude. That dude was training her. They basically grew up together for all that time.
There's so many movies here.
Near infinite.
Be formidable and understandable.
Wonder Woman 1984. He was formidable and understandable. So was Cheetah. They were both formidable and understanding.
Lex.
Don't act like they weren't. Lex was.
Steppenwolf.
Enchantress, almost called her Scarlet Witch. Evil dude in Shazam.
This is incredible.
This is horrible.
What's horrible is that mask and or green screen you got going there.
Formidable angle is born from the plot, the purpose of it being to make Zod a worthy antagonist that we can find dangerous, someone we might actually lose to. And the way this film accomplishes that...
But it's difficult to do that when he's doing this, but he doesn't have the adverse effect of the X-ray stuff. But he's already flipping cars and stuff. Why doesn't he have the X-ray stuff?
Because his helmet was protecting him from...
No, he's getting the atmosphere. He's getting the sun rays.
Yeah, but his helmet...
But why is
Superman,
it only affecting... Why is it only affecting his super strength?
Superman said that the helmet was blocking it all out, and then without the helmet, he's getting it all at once. Sensory overload.
How is the helmet blocking it all out?
Superman.
How is the helmet blocking it all out?
Superman
is the helmet designed to block out all external X-rays and sounds and sights and all this stuff?
Superman said it.
I understand that Superman said it.
All right then.
But that doesn't necessarily answer my question. No, it doesn't answer the question.
If Superman said it.
Well, Superman said a lot of things.
Like drink your orange juice?
No thank you, Superman.
Please thank you, Superman.
By taking the main plot and inverting it for his POV. In the Krypton prologue, it becomes very clear that Zod's external objective is to save his dying race, for which he needs the codex that holds the power to artificially breed Kryptonian babies for specific pre-assigned roles.
Okay, but I understand that he's trying to save his entire race, but he's staging a coup. We don't know exactly what these elders, we don't know if all of them are behind this whole thing. We don't know.
He didn't even kill them all.
We don't know if Zod necessarily has the best idea. We don't know what Zod's ideas are. In the beginning, he just goes, we'll decide who sticks around. So he's already just like, we decide who gets to be the babies and the people and stuff like that. So there's not really too much in seeing on his side other than he's trying to save his people.
It's pretty evident how far he's willing to go to accomplish this goal.
How far is he willing to go? Killing somebody?
Few scenes in regards to the plot to clearly establish just how motivated he is. And so when Zod eventually arrives to Earth, his motivation manifests itself through his own inverted plot. He needs to turn Earth into Krypton in order to save his race's existence before the Earth can stop him. And because we know that
he doesn't need to turn Earth. He needs to turn a planet.
Yeah, doesn't need to be Earth.
And does he even need to turn a planet? Because, again, he's breathing just fine out there, so the atmosphere is fine. Or maybe, no, it was before that. So, I got nothing for you.
Pedro Pascal, he wants to be seen as a successful businessman. That's the goal. The stakes is, if he doesn't be seen as a successful businessman, his son will not love him. The urgency is Wonder Woman is coming to stop him. How do you not see it inverted? That man is the hero of the story. It's same thing with Zod here, dude.
Suicide Squad. The goal is to resurrect her brother. The stakes is to reclaim what they want. The urgency is, or reclaim what they once possessed. The urgency is Suicide Squad is coming to stop them. What is the difference?
This is unbelievable.
Suicide Squad might be the worst DCEU movie, and you're just describing.
And it just has all these things.
There's no question about his formidability. If we don't give everything we have to stop him now, he won't be stopped at all. I mean, the motivation angle is so effective that it makes even Zod's right-hand soldier Faora more imposing than the main.
That's fine. You see the little sweat drop on his head? Auga. Oh no. That's a big old anime sweat drop, that is.
That's not how you say her name.
Filmento said it.
But no.
Filmento said it.
But that's not.
Filmento said it.
But even if he said it,
are you Filmento?
That doesn't prove.
Are you Filmento?
I am not Filmento.
Is he Filmento?
I would assume he's Filmento.
I'm gonna say pretty definitively he is.
It could be multiple people in that channel. I cannot say if he is definitively the person of
He
Filmento.
is a representative of Filmento.
Correct.
Okay then. So that we're gonna take him as an agent of Filmento, and Filmento is saying it like this, so it's said like that.
Is he God though? An agent of Filmento?
Right-hand soldier Faora more imposing than the main villains in most of the other entries, simply because she's so relentlessly motivated.
In what other entries?
Suicide Squad? Absolutely not.
She's so relentlessly motivated. What do you mean? She's taking out these random rank and file bums, and then she fights Superman.
I will fight the hard.
I will fight hard. That's what she got, 7-Eleven. That's what she got. Get it right in there. Get it right in there. Yes, okay. This means nothing.
So what's the difference between her and that dude that was standing next to her?
Fighting relentlessly. They're all due to seeing his friend or his essentially his co-soldier, compatriot, just get flattened, and he's still shooting. That's driven.
All you want, but as long as she's physically able to get back up to fulfill her mission, she will.
You will not win. Forever human, you say.
That's the same thing that happened with Pedro Pascal in Wonder Woman 1984. He wanted to complete his mission.
Same thing that happened with Enchantress, because she broke the hold Waller had over her for a second. It was just, hey, no, I'll come get you and all this stuff. Save me, and we'll resurrect everything together.
I would very much like for this video to end.
You have another 3 minutes of it, sir? 3 minutes of it, sir.
We'll kill 1 million more.
The understandable angle, on the other hand, is born from the character side. The purpose here being to make Zod not just an evil movie bad guy, but someone we can clearly perceive.
He's comforting her. It seems like he cares about a Kryptonian.
Is he comforting her or a soldier?
What is the benefit in comforting a soldier?
To help, to show that you're a leader.
Well, that does nothing for the soldier.
They'll fall more if they have a leader that they can fall behind.
Well, you can do that.
If you were crying at work and the manager went, "Are you cool?" and another manager walked by you, which one would you be more inclined to be cool with?
Okay, being cool and following them, that's a completely different thing, because if the dude that just walks by just goes, buck up. You can go home, but the dude that's just like you cool, he's like, you gotta stay for another 10 hours. We need you, King. I'd be like, well, I'd rather, I don't necessarily need the comfort.
There's someone trying to help in some way. Whether sending you home or asking you're cool. And another one is just like, no, it's all about the job / mission. Which one would you be more inclined to follow in the future? I can perceive
this as him just going, this is the mission. We don't have time for all these tears stuff.
Yes, we can perceive it any particular way. We're both arguing a different viewpoint of the same character because the movie did not explore enough of it for us to draw a definitive conclusion of it.
Real person, which again is done by taking Clark's inner character journey of finding his own place in the universe and inverting it.
We've had a child, Zod, free to forge his own destiny.
Heresy! Destroy it!
Unlike Clark, who was naturally born, Zod was artificially bred into the pre-assigned role of a soldier, and so he genuinely cannot accept Krypton's demise because based on his own inverted inner character belief, his very existence is dependent on there being a Krypton for him to fight for.
Pause. And why weren't any of the other soldiers like that? Why is it just him that's just like, we need to fight for Krypton? If the evidence is there that Krypton is slowly being destroyed, there's worlds that
he might have been the only one to know because him and Jor-El were cool, and Jor-El was the only one speaking it.
That could be it.
I exist only to protect Krypton. That is the sole purpose for which I was born.
As in, Zod isn't...
Okay, so once Krypton is no longer protectable and laid to waste after Soups destroys everything, why is he still fighting?
Revenga.
That's not a soldier. He wasn't a soldier that day. God, Upgrade was so good! I just rewatched it. It's on Peacock, y'all. Go watch Upgrade! Cried like a little baby. He was no soldier that day.
with a blue sky beam just because it looks cool, but because doing so is the only purpose for which he exists. We don't necessarily agree with what he's doing,
Earth.
but we understand.
Why does he need Earth?
Why does he need the Earth? There's no explanation of why it needs to be Earth. Because if Soups had landed on Mars, he would just terraform Mars, wherever the Codex is at the moment.
It doesn't need to be Earth.
There is no reasonable explanation of why it needs to be the Earth.
It can't even be the fact that it's, hey, they'll get the Krypton cells and the sun and stuff like that because you're turning it into Krypton. You're not going to get that. And even still, Clark was just like, I don't know if he said it, but wasn't there a line that was just like, the children will suffer, so we can't have that?
Maybe.
I can't remember that. Just like, yeah, and suffer like you did or something like that with the whole get against Vision and all that.
Oh, no. That was Zod, where he was like, you'll have us suffer as you did as a child.
Yeah. So it's not even about simply once it terraforms. I can't imagine that if that's the line that they're going to be getting those sun rays and getting strong like that. If he's just like we're not gonna suffer.
Why he's doing it, and that understandability is what makes him a person instead of a caricature.
If you destroy this ship, you destroy Krypton!
You might think this is obvious.
Look at it from Superman's perspective. Zod, why should he care about Krypton? You've given him no reason to care about Krypton. So you're just going, you're destroying my home. It's like, I don't live here.
You're
I don't
destroying
care.
my home.
Why should Clark care, Zod?
But all you have to do to find an instance where it's not present is look at the latest DC Universe release.
I will take your oil.
And just like with the hero, giving your...
Okay, wait, what's not present
What's
there?
not present? That he's not a person? When he goes, son, what do you want? I wish for your greatness. No!
He did it all for his son. His son was in danger, and that's what...
You see his laid-to-waste office completely empty, but his place is still looking good because he has to keep that illusion alive while he's failing at business. You are the dude!
Villain and inverted inner journey also fills that villain and his ultimate clash against the hero with emotion. When Clark and Zod are fighting for the Earth, they're not fighting just for the Earth, but...
Hey, Max now gets anything he wishes for. Wowo got her most wish and realized it was a lie and she needed to give it up, so she talked to all the people about truth and Max realizes it. It's almost like it's an inverted way of thinking about the same thing.
It's really hard to defend bad things. You gotta do whatever you can to do so.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Also to decide which of the internal journey answers is correct. To be bred into a predetermined purpose or to be born to choose your own purpose.
No, there's no choice there.
Why should we believe that being born and bred into a predetermined role is a good thing? What is the movie shown that would lead us to that conclusion?
Heresy.
And when Clark ultimately reigns supreme and destroys the last hope for there to ever be a Krypton again, it sets up this really personal emotion-based climax. Without Krypton, Zod no longer has a purpose. And when a soldier has no purpose, the only thing left for them to do is fight until death.
These humans you've adopted,
Is it?
I will take them all from you.
Pause.
I don't think so. I don't think soldiers come back from war and go, God, I just gotta keep fighting until my death.
He has to make sense of this scene no matter what. So he just makes something up. Because like you said, there's no reason for Zod to keep fighting other than
there's no
pure
Krypton.
and simple revenge.
You took from me, I take from you.
I won.
And Clark is like, "Oh, you're gonna kill people? You just killed all those. You just did it, Clark. Why are you killing? Krypton had his chance. Laser.
Gotta stop you."
And as a result of Zod's inner character drive being stolen from him, we get this ultimate finale fight that isn't just a big bombastic battle for the Earth.
You said that I don't need to watch this fight. I didn't either. Skip.
Yeah, there's no reason.
It's
to.
like, yeah, no, I got it.
I know the two
happens.
or three cool moments.
Yeah, and there's no like plot stuff in here. They're just gonna fight until they're not gonna fight anymore.
But something much more intimately emotional. One man forcing another.
Pause. And
this makes a lot more sense if again there was some type of animal that was trapped, and Clark was trying to put it out of his misery, and there's some type of conversation about life versus death and what it means, and that Clark doesn't want to kill. Even if his father was like, "We got to put it out of his misery." No, it can be saved. I don't want to kill.
You're gonna
Killing
be doing
is
more
bad.
harm than good, Clark. It's already dead. It's already too late. But
if Clark cared about, if there was something in front of him where it showed how much he cared about a single life and killing, because when he screams about killing Zod,
you just go,
I don't believe it.
He have some side. What's the problem with this? He killed infinite potential Kryptonians, but he's crying about this one
and a handful of actual ones.
Yeah, but. And again, he's praising what this scene represents and not the scene itself, where these people can simply move to the right, where Clark can simply cover his eyes.
No, but
where
you see all that debris there? There's no...
Where Clark can... That's in the foreground.
Nah.
Where Clark can simply fly up. Any number of things can happen.
If he has the power to snap his neck...
He has the power to pick him up and turn him slightly to the left.
There's no reason to believe he doesn't have that power.
Kill his body the same way his soul has already done.
Look at him. Look at his hand is around his neck. He can simply lean back and the laser goes up. Enough time for them.
Line go up.
Enough time for them to run away, and then you don't have to worry about this anymore.
Hey, family, why are you still around here? Why are you the people that are still around this area? Leave, family. In fact,
he had to.
I think his head went up a little bit when he snapped his neck.
One more time.
Sure thing, sir.
His body
so I need to
the
see
same
Stop.
way.
Pause. Okay, so
is he going up right now?
He's looking over to the right. I need to see which way his neck
soul
snaps.
has already done.
Wait. They were on their knees. To begin with, he did stand up with them.
Earth, but something much more intimately emotional. One man forcing another to kill his body the same way his soul has already done. AKA the closest.
Last time. I just need to see where because if his neck snaps in the direction that they
family,
are.
oh no, it is. You can see
bombastic battle for the Earth, but something much more intimately emotional. One man forcing another.
That's the laser. The family is to the right of
that's
them.
Kill his body.
Yeah, that's why I kept saying pause as soon as the neck snap starts to happen.
The same way his soul has already done.
His laser stopped before the neck
stops.
Before the neck even snaps.
How do you know once he dies the laser's gonna stop, Clark?
AKA the closest.
How do you know that breaking his neck will even kill him, Clark?
DCEU has ever gone to the finale of Civil War, which gives me hope that maybe one day.
Pause. What the do you mean that it's the closest that they've gotten to the end of Civil War?
can get there. And the way to begin is to take Man of Steel's Codex of Purpose and use it. Explore your hero with one inner driving struggle, test your hero with all 3 external plot components, and then weave all of that together with the villain.
I'd rather watch CP than this. Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. But it is.
Holy crap.
That was a very bad video.
That was an exceptionally bad video.
I can't believe the points he made were so generalized. There's nothing that you can say to tell me that it's not just any other movie in the DCEU. It's incredible.
And like I said, you have to work extra hard to defend a bad movie. So you gotta bring up in GSU. Like, this is something like, what else has GSU? This has GSU.
I would hope. I would hope most things. Look at this scene of GSU. Okay, cool.
Okay, what now? Yes, it has these things. So what if it had just somebody twerking and farting in the background? It still has GSU, but that's just in the background. That doesn't have anything to do with this. Does it still make it a good scene?
What if this happened and they settled it with slapping each other with rubber ducks?
Still got GSU. It's not just the GSU that makes something good. Holy crap. Yeah, there will be no farming of Filmento if this is what it's going to be. I can't take this.
I may watch like 3 of the videos. I want to see what he has to say about 84 because it's not this. I have to see what he says about villains and probably the plot one. At some point in the future. Yeah. And by that I mean I'll forget it within the week and we'll never go back to his channel.
My goodness.
Catch us Saturday for streaming of Dragon Ball and CBR. And then viewer request month the Saturday after. What a time. What a time we live in. Hall of Fame.
Unbelievable. Months can't talk about movies at all.
It's so crazy. Have we had... It seems like every film critic is so much more pretentious than the MyAnimeLists, but say so much less than the... It's crazy.
Wonder Woman 1984 was horrible.
The Spider-Man was horrible.
That Batman versus Superman with the Kryptonian throwing of the
Loverboy Media.
Horrible. The Suicide Squads. Both of them. It had to be a black person that...
Take out Waller for the...
What?